You will own nothing and be happy about it. Like, geez, Sony, I didn't recall you hiring a Ubisoft employee to be hired at your job it, and thinking that it is okay to say that, oh, gamers should be comfortable of not owning games because, because the moment they say that, it's like this: if buying isn't owning the game, then piracy isn't stealing. Whoever said that gamers should be comfortable of not owning games should be fired from the job immediately. Immediately put the fries in the bag and never come back to the gaming industry again. And so I'm really gonna take a really good deep dive of what Sony is in the past, talking about quote unquote revitalizing, not backing down from digital because they all know, they got what they coming. They made the post what they post, and they got what's coming and what is coming. But before we get to the bottom of the iceberg, you may say, hey, there was a little take where Asmongold previous video, I forget the video. Oh, but shout out to Asmongold. There was one take that I disagree. It's like when the last time you purchased like a physical disc, a physical disc. At first I disagree. And then I check out the library, and I was like, he got me. He got me. There was one time where I was thinking I was really really rigid about like pre-ordering like Monster Hunter. This was before like Monster Hunter Wilds actually came out. Like I decided to get one from Amazon for like cheaper reasons, and then I got Monster Hunter Wilds on basically the on basically digital. So I basically have Monster Hunter Wilds on digital and physical at the same time. Right, but I most likely wanted to have it on disc because is now that they finally announced. At first I was gonna regret about buying two games at a time, but now that I think about it, when they announced we're ending the physical media, uh, um, yeah, that doesn't sound too bright. So it's a really good reason that I purchased I purchased the physical disc of it because that's how I own my games. And second, Maximilian, I don't think it has to do with voting. I really do believe it's the corporation that makes that want to find a way to money milk every single player they can make, so we can make more profits. It's at least if I could be wrong on my statement, but either way, let's get started to the iceberg of the cake right now for this take. So Sony, quote unquote, want to talk about revitalizing the live service games or whatever it is. Here's one of my favorite words to say: Prex X to doubt. Because are we not going to talk about Dragon Age the Veilguard slop? We're not going to talk about High Guard slop. We're not going to talk about most notably the Concord, one of the most astronomical fail game of all time. You see, it created the triangle. Oh, right. Yeah, there's one. This first is the triangle that leads to the sinking ship. Yeah, there's a fire and the gasoline to it. Yeah, one that breathes fire and one breathes gasoline. Here are the core elements. When you hire stupid developers, you get rewarded with stupid games, and you get rewarded with stupid games expect that game not to perform too well, right? And then when you get yeah, and then when you're not getting that much money in returns, maybe employees should be comfortable of losing their jobs. Uh, it's it's literally that simple. Well, like then layoffs comes, they should be replaced with AI until they have better individuals working there. And speaking of better individuals, can we get these crazy Karens out of the gaming industry. Like it's embarrassing. Like there's a reason why we call it God of War, quote unquote, Laffy being under development because oh no, we're not gonna make Laffy beautiful. Like seriously, for all that, I'm gonna be purchasing Stellar Blade 2 or play or wait a minute, I'm gonna play Genshin Impact, or maybe I'm gonna play something more waifu-matic, yeah, that is more hot, or or even more gotcha games for all I care about. But yeah, like get these guys out of here. It's not about the feelings, it's about a game. If you want to sell a game, make the person hot. For example, like what Stellar Blade, what I'm mentioning. But if you're not going to make the characters hot, this and you got all of this slop going on, then that's how the fire there's a gasoline added to the fire, and it makes the whole game more worse. And in fact, we're not even completely ready to go fully digital. Oh yeah, do you remember the Insomnia hack or something? They want to make the data up by saying, "Oh no, most of the people are going to be selling physical," but they forgot about the Insomnia hack. And I forget about the percentages, but there were physical copy that was sold. Oh, so yes, games can also be sold by being on being on the disc. Yeah, being on the disc, but I forget the data that I read from the Insomnia hack. But yeah, but it doesn't mean that you get to decide that no, we're going to go fully digital because let's be real, we're not ready for all digital future. Yeah, like if I'm looking for an all digital future, I'm looking at Steam, and that's not wise for me to say that. I'm looking at Steam to have my fun, and over some corporal bullcrap that we had to deal with. Okay, so we're getting rid of the disc. We're getting rid of the disc. Okay, you would think that that will lower the price, right? Right? No, the price will remain the same. That goes to shows that Sony wants to monopolize the gaming sphere of PlayStation, and so that their main goal was to get rid of the secondary market, such as GameStop, such as is Amazon, etc., for cheaper price, so that way you can pay full price on the swinging disc, or just go fully digital, so you can pay full price and licensing it. Like seriously, eh? Where do we get the term called licensing the game? Like full of art. Yeah, full of art. Where do you get the term of licensing? Like from your driver's license test? Like if I wanted to completely own the game that is digital only until the day I die, then it's gonna be taken away from me. Then I'm looking at Steam, and you know what? It's very fair. It's very fair, and me. This is also another thing of issues, and this is what also got me to laughing. This is what me and Sagan Apple was laughing about. My longtime best friend. Uh, my friends that I known for like a decade. They probably wasn't on PS3. This is what me and my friends were like laughing about, and I'm still laughing to this day. I believe it's like 2012, 2000. I could be wrong. 2012, 2011, I think. During that time. But do y'all remember the Lizard Squad hack happening at PS3 era? Because I definitely do. I still remember the time where I think I was like middle school or something like that. Hi, yeah, middle school like that or something like that. But do you guys remember the Lizard Squad hack? Yeah, hack during that time. Yeah, I don't think Sony did a good job with the taking care with the hacking. Now, if it was like on Steam or Xbox or something like that, oh, they crafted around, they find out. Meanwhile, PlayStation, what's a hacking? So this leads me to the problem, and my question is to Sony: how can I trust it going all full digital when you deleted over 500 movies from people's library? Uh, how can I also trust it going all full digital if you if there was an outage this recently there was an outage on both Xbox and PlayStation leading that you won't have access to your games even though you quote unquote license it or purchase the item, where if you use the disc you have access to the game. Team, isn't that super simple? Just have the disc ready and it will get you access to the game. Yeah, all guaranteed without a fail. Oh, and plus, how can I trust Sony? How can I ever trust digital going fully digital for PS6 if you're not going to do a good job of dealing with hacking issues? Use just like the Steam does, or even Xbox. Rare occasion, it could be a rare W, rare W, rare loss. I could be wrong. And plus, how can I trust going fully digital if you're just only gonna license it and not a full and it's not full ownership? Yeah, like us all gamers says, if owning isn't legal, then piracy isn't stealing. If buying the game completely isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. And in fact, it's already begunning. That reckoning has already started begun, PlayStation. And it seems like your silence did not want to work out. You can go full cold blooded all you want, corporal vorpal, not caring about the community, but the community already knows, and even myself included, already knows yeah, that your game is gonna get pirated. But in the end of the day, it's not sustainable. It's not ever gonna be sustainable. Well, in the PS6, it's ended up gonna be a PC wannabe that's not being taken care of. That's how I view. That's how I'm gonna view of PS6. And plus, speaking of that, you have the entirety of the world against you. And what's your answers? It will pass. Nah, it will pass. That reminds me, definitely Family Guy. I would say, I would even say, where's my money? Heck, even Domino's made fun of you. KFC. Man, that made me want to get some Domino's now that I think about it later on. Yeah, later on in life. But, but the whole entire world is on your behind, pretty much, until you make proper changes. If you want to continue going down this hill, then fine. Heck, you even made Nintendo of all things. Nintendo, who was on a lawsuit on Power World, being jealous on Power World of all things. Lose the lawsuit, Power World wins. Heck, you made Nintendo look good. That's how embarrassing this crap is. I kid you not. It is purely embarrassment. Like, there's like a million reasons why I put all the face palming. And I will forever put all the face palming into this day. Oh man, it's embarrassing. But if we don't, but if you don't plan on getting back to, it's okay to have like digital, but just remember, we always wanted to have like this too, because because if this is not gonna go sustain well, then you want to see the stock being rise up in pricing just for Sony to say that. Now watch what happens when you crap with the consumers in the world. So in the end of the day, if we're not gonna go ever go back to physical games and revert everything what you said about it, then fine. Personally, I feel bad about about Polyphony with their Gran Turismo. I've been a diehard fan ever since I was literally 3 years old and introduced Gran Turismo 3. And recently, took a revisit on Gran Turismo 1 and 2 after I spent time with it, and it was a fantastic experience about it. If you want to check what was the most sold game during the PlayStation 1 era, everyone can tell me is none other than both Gran Turismo 1 and 2. And if you think I'm wrong, look it up. I will also feel bad about the other developers who also value their value their works and efforts. A whole lot of company values disc, including myself. I value disc. I was thinking about pre-ordering Ace Combat, the new Ace Combat, but I think I'm going to be wise of my decision, and it needs to be released in disc. Otherwise, I'm not purchasing it. You can't just dictate of licensing. Give me a timer, and then basically you own nothing. And what? What you're gonna find ways to make a woke behind game look like an absolute cinema game to absolutely to make everyone forced to pay that game for that game and make them played it. I'm most likely worried about it. I worried about who was dictating all my games and telling me what to do or what to play or something. And I also worried about, and this is not one thing. I also worried about they. I think Kojima even tweet this wisely. I think I'm also worried about like they having after our data. I believe on the PlayStation in the future. So there's a lot there's a lot of things that I could be saying right now, but it's it's a total mess. But yeah, overall from all these situations, it's a total mess. It is an absolute mess. I complete and if this doesn't change or anything, I'm just glad I supported like stuff like stop killing games and stuff because this is not because this is not sustainable. It will never be sustainable. So I'm glad, like even governors from other countries even stepping it up and taking care of the situation with PlayStation. If not, what we gonna lose our right to? Because I hate to say this, yeah, I will always be, and plenty of people are telling me, I'm just gonna move to Xbox or something, move to something else. Listen, I'm always gonna be a PlayStation fan. I'm not moving to nothing. I'm not moving to Nintendo. I'm not moving to Xbox. I always gonna be a PlayStation fan. But yeah, if there was a gaming console that I'm willing to commit to is only to PC. I'm not interested in no Nintendo or getting another Nintendo console or getting an Xbox. That's basically on you and your decision. But there is one thing and one thing only. We never stop gaming. Yeah, that's the number one rule. Never stop gaming. No, never stop what your favorite hobby is. You never stop what you always love. But yeah, thank you for watching. But thank you for listening to my video. I hope you enjoy your day. And this is Woo Excalibur Umbra or Epic Woo Excalibur Umbra. Uh, Piracy isn't stealing, and signing out.